Part 4. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the Emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 31. Ding dong, the host successfully redeemed points, with 1,423 points remaining. Looking at the numbers on the points account, Suju smiled slightly. He finally had points. Bought everything in the exchange mall. Ding dong, the host spent 100 points and successfully purchased a low-level recommendation ticket. Ding dong, the host spent 100 points and successfully purchased an alchemy coupon. Ding dong, the host spent 100 points and successfully purchased a realm-breaking pill. As 3 prompts sounded, Suju's points were only 1,123 points left, and there were 3 more items in the treasure box. Looking at the 3 items, Suju didn't hesitate and used the alchemy coupon directly. Ding dong, the host successfully used the alchemy small success coupon, and the alchemy level reached the 3rd level. Buzz. When the beep fell, Suju suddenly felt that there was a lot of information in his mind, all related to alchemy. It took a few seconds to digest it all. It's great to have a golden finger. You can become a 3rd-grade alchemist so quickly. Suju opened his eyes. Although he is only a 3rd-grade alchemist, it is enough for him now. After all, he is only at the golden elixir stage. We have the method of alchemy, but we still lack a cauldron. It seems necessary to trick people. Suju smiled. Now that he has so many fans, they all admire him extremely. He is sure that as long as he is willing, countless people will send him to the alchemy furnace with just 1 sentence. But if he really does this, that would be a bit of a loss. After all, he relies on his talent to make a living, not an online beggar. Just as he was thinking about it, another notification sounded in his mind. Ding dong, please note that the host will be aware that the ranking of fan comments and likes will be settled 12 hours after the video is released. At that time, the top 3 fans will receive a reward. The specific reward can be determined by the host. The settlement time is there are 7 hours left. Listening to the prompt sound, Suju looked at the short video he posted. He already knew this, so why did Goldfinger prompt him? Since Goldfinger prompted it, it must have a deep meaning. Suju thought, then looked at other videos, and was suddenly startled. Although the video of him killing the 9-tailed blood fox had more than 14 million likes, the number of likes for other videos did not even exceed 14 million. System, are the rewards for other videos' fan comments and likes rankings also useful now? Suju asked. Originally, Suju just asked subconsciously and didn't expect Golden Finger to answer. Unexpectedly, the other party actually gave a prompt tone. Ding dong, since the host has turned on the like function for less than 24 hours, the like ranking list of other videos is also valid. Suju suddenly realized, no wonder Goldfinger suddenly gave a reminder just now. It turned out to be to help him and increase the number of likes on several previously released videos. It seems that Goldfinger is thinking of ways to help me earn points. Suju thought, then opened the video of killing the 9-tailed blood fox, thought for a few seconds, and then left a message in the comment area. I never thought that so many Taoist friends would like this light and shadow, so I decided to use the release time of this light and shadow as the basis. There are a total of 5 light and shadows released by me. After 12 hours, I will give each light and shadow points. The 3 fellow Taoists with the most likes will receive some rewards. Please encourage us all. After this news was released, Suju directly set it to the top, and the next second a series of notification sounds sounded in Suju's mind. Ding dong, Zhang-san likes your comment. Ding dong, Zhao Si likes your comment. Ding dong. In less than a minute, the comment Suju just posted had more than 30,000 likes. At the same time, there were many more comments. Oh my god, Senior Huanggu actually spoke. I didn't expect that Emperor Huanggu would be so polite. It's a blessing to be able to observe the light and shadow of my senior. I have never seen such a friendly senior. Even if he lets us observe the light and shadow for nothing, he also gives us rewards. The comment area quickly exploded. There were originally more than 800,000 comments. In a few minutes, there were more than 200,000 comments, directly breaking through to 1 million, and it is still increasing rapidly. Unfortunately, there is no reward for the number of comments. A trace of disappointment flashed in Suju's eyes. Ding dong, the video posted by the host received millions of comments, and the host won the title, Red Man. Celebrity, basic level, you can upgrade later, you can draw a recommendation ticket for free every other month. Ding dong, the host now has a chance to draw recommendation votes. Do you want to use it? Just as she was thinking about it, another message was sent from Golden Finger, which made Suju's eyes light up. She didn't expect that her golden finger was so powerful. Extract. As the saying goes, use it early and use CD early. Suju used it decisively. Ding dong, the host has consumed one drawing opportunity. Congratulations to the host for getting an intermediate recommendation ticket, which has been included in the treasure box. Intermediate recommendation ticket, videos blessed by this item have a 1% chance of appearing on other users' homepages. Looking at the introduction of the mid-level recommendation ticket, Suju smiled. This thing is 10 times better than the low-level recommendation ticket. Suju was happy, but many people became anxious because of the news he just released. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 32. Saint Yun City. How Tenglin frowned when he saw the news Suju had just released, and then glanced coldly at Hao Fei beside him. Father, I never thought that this. Hao Fei felt his father's eyes and couldn't help but swallowed. You bastard, I shouldn't have listened to you. Hao Tenglin snorted. Let it happen? Don't compete for ranking? Get out of here. Now Emperor Huang directly stated that the top 3 people with likes will receive rewards. Is it an ordinary reward for such a powerful person? If it can be obtained, no matter how hard it is, it will be rewarded. It is said that one can be invincible to the whole world, but it can also improve oneself. Of course, the most important thing is not this. Those who can enter the top 3 will definitely leave an impression on the hearts of the ancient predecessors. This is the powerful He Tianzun. It's a good opportunity to make good friends. But what about his son? He actually told himself just now that the likes ranking list should be left to chance. If Senior Huanggu hadn't said it in advance, they would have really left it to chance. After being scolded by his old man, Hao Fei felt in his heart it's also full of grievances. When I said just let it go, you obviously praised me very much and said I was mature, but now you turn around and don't admit it. Why the hell are you still here? Hurry up and contact other sects for me. Even if you pay some price, you still have to be among the top 3 in the likes ranking. Seeing that Hao Fei was still there without moving, Hao Tenglin immediately roared. Hao Fei didn't dare to say anything, and was about to run outside, but was stopped by Hao Tenglin. Father, what else is going on? Hao Fei asked with a hint of fear. Notify those who gave us likes before and ask them to give us likes under the other 4 lights of Senior Huanggu. How? Tenglin said. With the light and shadow killing the blood fox in front of them, it is already a bit difficult for them to enter the top 3. Fortunately, there are still 4 lights and shadows. They still have a chance in the rankings of these 4 lights and shadows. The child obeys, and the notice will continue. Hao Fei nodded and left quickly. Zheng Fengyuan, I originally wanted you to do it once, but now you can't blame me, Hao Tenglin said coldly. Holy Dragon Sect. Sect Master, just now, Hao Tenglin, an old man, saw a sudden surge in the number of comments and likes under the 5 rays of light of Senior Huanggu. he must have gone to find foreign aid. The great elder looked at Zhang Fenyuan and said, well, this sect leader knows that now. Senior Huanggu has directly stated that he will reward the top 3 people. Even if it is not for rewards, but just to show his face in front of seniors, Hao Tenglin will not let go of this opportunity. Zhang Fenyuan said. Sect Master, shall we? Since Hao Tenglin can hire foreign aid, so can we. You can contact those sections as long as the request is not excessive, we can agree. Zhang Fenyuan said. Sect Master, don't worry, our Holy Dragon sect must be among the top 3. The great elder left quickly after finishing his words. In addition to the Holy Dragon sect and Shenyuan city, other forces have also begun to call on monks above the Golden Core to praise their own forces, especially the forces in the small world that are even more crazy. Xiantian sect. The great elder issued the Xiantian bounty order and told all the Jindan or above monks in the entire Wuyuan small world that as long as they like our Xiantian sect, each one of them likes a qi gathering pill, as evidenced by the screenshots. In the main hall, Gu Kanghai said. 1 qi gathering pill may not be much, but you only need to click like to get it, so it is definitely for nothing. Sect Master, is it necessary to issue a Tianzi bounty order? The great elder frowned and asked. The Tianzi bounty order is the highest level of their Xiantian sect's bounty order. It is rare to see in 100 years. I didn't expect that it would appear now just for a like ranking. Of course it is necessary. As long as we can get into the top 3, we will have the opportunity to make friends with the ancient seniors. We must not miss it. Gu Kanghai looked serious. As long as he could make friends with such powerful people, who in this small world of Wuyuan would dare to touch his Xiantian sect? I understand, I will issue the Tianzi bounty order. The great elder nodded and was about to leave when a figure quickly ran in from outside. Second elder, why are you so anxious? Seeing the person coming, Gu Kanghai frowned and asked. Sect Master, it's not good. The Netherworld sect has just issued a bounty order. 1 like is worth 2 qi gathering pills. Now the number of likes from Master Qi Yan is almost catching up with us, the second elder said hurriedly. What? Gu Kanghai was shocked and hurriedly opened Wanja to check. Gu Kanghai, 720,000 likes. Master Qi Yan, 710,000 likes. This Master Qi Yan is the leader of the Netherworld sect in their small world of Wuyuan, and the force of the Netherworld section it is comparable to their Xiantian sect, but the 2 sects have always been at odds. Now seeing that the number of likes of Master Qi Yan is about to catch up with his own, Gu Kanghai is also a little anxious. This bastard is so willing. If so, don't blame us for being cruel. Gu Kanghai gritted his teeth and looked at the great elder. Great elder, please change the price and give me 5 qi gathering pills with 1 thumbs up. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 33. There were only 7 hours left before the likes ranking list would be settled. Suju was not in a hurry. Seeing that the sky was getting dark, she simply went to bed. After practicing continuously in the Shilling Pagoda for nearly a year, I can take a good rest this time. Suju went to sleep, but the major forces could not sleep and were still competing. It was not until noon that Suju slowly woke up. Seeing that the sun was shining brightly today, she was in a particularly good mood. I went to the vegetable field as usual, picked some vegetables, took out a piece of monster meat, and started preparing to cook. Although he has reached the golden elixir stage and can live without food, Suju is still used to eating something. While waiting for the food to be prepared, Suju also opened the golden finger to check. Holy shit, are these guys crazy? It actually gained so many likes. Under the video of him instantly killing the blood fox, some changes have taken place in the rankings. Gu Kanghai, 2.83 million likes. Lisi Yuan, 2.821 million likes. Master Chi Yan, 2.82 million likes. Venerable Joji, 2.41 million likes. Hao Tenglin, 2.13 million likes. Zhengfen Yuan, 2.11 million likes. Lisi Yuan, who was ranked first before, has fallen to second place, and Gu Kanghai has become first. There is a huge difference of 400,000 likes between the fourth-ranked Venerable Joji and the third-ranked Master Chi Yan. The gap is huge, so he probably gave up. The rankings of the top three are not much different. Judging from the growth rate, these three guys should still be secretly competing. As for the number of likes for this light and shadow, it has increased from more than 14 million yesterday to more than 21 million, and Suju received another 700 points. This made Suju a little happy. She was still short of points before, but she didn't expect that her points would increase by 700 after just sleeping. Then Suju looked at the other four lights and shadows. When he was sleeping yesterday, the four rays of light and shadow had only about 1 million likes, but now the lowest has reached 5 million, and the highest is almost over 10 million. As for the ranking of likes for these four lights and shadows, there are also old acquaintances among them. Hao Tenglin, Zhou Hizun, Zhengfen Yuan, are among them, and each of them occupied the top spot of a light and shadow. If I count carefully, I now have more than 5,300 points. Suju nodded secretly. He didn't expect that a message he posted yesterday would cause such a shock and earn him so many points. But where did these guys get so many likes? Suju was a little curious. He had already thought of the fact that sects praised each other, but it wouldn't have increased so much. This light and shadow doesn't have a like function. It's too cool. After all, not everyone is an ancient senior and can add functions by themselves. I heard that some sects are already offering 5 chi gathering pills for likes. These sects are too crazy. That's the price you paid last night, the latest price, 1 thumbs up for 10 chi gathering pills. At this time, Suju saw some comments under the light and shadow of the monks, and probably understood what was going on. Did someone start selling likes so soon? Suju narrowed his eyes. When he was on Earth, short videos were rampant. In order to become popular, some people would go to a certain website to buy likes. But he didn't expect that this method would spread in the world of Xiangxia so quickly. Sure enough, if no one buys or sells, there will be no killing. No, even if you want to sell likes, you can't let others sell it. If you want to sell it, I have to sell it. Suju pondered. He had already seen through the comments of many people that someone had sensed a business opportunity and had begun to sell likes in an organized and large-scale way. If he left it alone, his comment area would also be flooded by these people in the future. Control, it is these guys who have the final say as to who gets the top 3. Instead of doing this, it is better for him to sell it himself and make the decision in his own comment area. Whoever he wants to get into the top 3 is fine. This 10,000 realms is a real name system, and each person only has one account. That is to say, you can only sell likes and make deals unless you have a large number of golden elixir level monks or above, but I don't have so many golden elixir level monks on hand. Ah! Suju frowned. The most important thing is that he is now famous. Many people know him. If he contacts others to sell praises as the ancient emperor, once the matter breaks out, the popularity accumulated before will be affected. Influence, but the gain outweighs the loss. Ding dong, since the total views of the videos you posted have reached 1 billion, you have been given the ability to create an account. Do you want to use it? Suju was thinking about it when the system prompt sounded suddenly, which made him pause. Create an account. Suju thought, and his eyes suddenly lit up. If he could create a trumpet account, he would not be afraid of his identity being exposed. And the system did not say that he could only create one trumpet account. If he created 1,000 or 10,000, even millions, doesn't that mean he can like whoever he wants? System, create a trumpet account for me. Suju said directly. Ding dong, remind the host that creating an account for the first time is free, creating an account for the second time requires 100,000 points, the third time requires 1,000,000 points and the fourth time. Hearing that the price was getting higher and higher, Suju's previous thoughts were suddenly shattered. Thinking about it, if he could create unlimited trumpets, he could just like his own videos and rack up points. Why would anyone else be needed? System, please create a small account for me first. After thinking about it, Suju said, and the notification sound also sounded in his mind. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 34. Ding dong, the trumpet is created successfully, please set it up yourself. Suju checked it and found that the nickname was Suju. After setting the other settings, Suju also started to think about it. Now that he has an account, his identity will not be exposed, but it is still a bit troublesome to organize a group of people to sell likes. After all, his account does not have many connections. By the way, you can talk to Qi Lian Xiao, Xiantian sect, and Chu Luying. I once said in my big name that I have accepted a disciple. If I contact these three forces now as a disciple of the ancient emperor, I will definitely feasible. Su Ju thought, and went directly to Chu Luying, Li Yun, and Gu Kanghai, and each gave the three of them something. The one for Chu Luying was the Sakura pill, and the one for Li Yun was the heavenly sword Ju. Gu Kanghai's Xiantian sect didn't have any special tokens, but fortunately, the weapons refined by the other sect had unique marks on them, so he sent them directly. After sending the things, Suju began to wait. This time using a small account to organize people to sell likes, he also plans to secretly create his own power. From now on, the large account only needs to continue to maintain a good personality, and anything that is inconvenient for the large account will be done by the small account. While Suju is waiting for the three forces when replying to the message, Chu Luying and the three of them also received the message one after another. Luying Mountain. Chu Luying sat cross-legged in the cherry blossom forest, looking at the light and shadow of the ancient emperor infatuatedly. How powerful is the emperor's sword? It can actually instantly kill the nine-tailed blood fox that once harmed a party. If I can get a glimpse of it and learn it slowly, I will definitely make progress, Chu Luying secretly thought. Ding dong, Suju gave you something as a gift, please check it. Just as she was looking at it in fascination, a voice came from Wanja, and Chu Luying frowned. Who dared to disturb her from comprehending the meaning of the ancient swordsmanship? They were simply seeking death. Thinking about it, Chu Luying clicked on the message, and then a pill appeared in her hand. This is. Looking at the elixir in her hand that was as round as jade and exuded the faint aroma of cherry blossoms, Chu Luying was stunned. Why did this elixir look familiar? Isn't this the elixir I gave to Senior Huangwu? How could it be in the hands of this person named Suju? Chu Luying quickly recognized it, murmured a few words, and was suddenly shocked. She made this elixir herself, and extracted the spiritual energy of heaven and earth from it many times to form it. It is impossible for others to imitate it. In other words, this elixir was what she had given to Emperor Huangwu. But for a man as powerful as Emperor Huangwu, it was impossible for others to snatch anything from his hands. Even if they wanted to snatch it, they would not snatch a pill that was only at the qi refining level. She remembered that Emperor Huangwu had said that this elixir was for his disciples to use. Now that Suju suddenly sent a pill, wouldn't it mean that Suju was the disciple of Emperor Huangwu? Thinking of this, Chu Luying hurriedly turned off the light and shadow, not daring to neglect at all, hurriedly opened the interface of Suju's trumpet, and at the same time clicked on the private message. Fellow Taoist is a disciple of the ancient predecessors. After sending this message, Chu Liying waited anxiously. If the other party is really the disciple of Senior Huanggu, no matter what the purpose of coming to find her, it proves that she has fallen into the eyes of Senior Huanggu. This makes her feel a little bit excited. Qi Lian Xiao, Tianji Unpeak. Li Yun was practicing with his eyes closed. After the light and shadow of the ancient emperor helped him get rid of his inner demons last time, his practice became particularly smooth. In addition, since he has become the holy son of Qi Lian Xiao, his cultivation resources are much richer than before, and his strength is improving every day. Ding dong, Suju gave you something as a gift, please check it. At this time, voices from all over the world sounded, and Li Yun also opened his eyes, with doubts in his eyes. Suju. He never knew this person, why did this person give him something as a gift? With curiosity, Li Yun entered Wanja to check, and suddenly the mental method of Heavenly Sorju appeared in his hand. What happened? Isn't this the unique mental method of my Tianji Unpeak? How could it be in the hands of Suju? I opened the book and flipped through it, and found that it was actually given to Senior Emperor Huang by myself. The notes on it cannot be faked. The senior said that he had an apprentice, could it be the Suju? The more Li Yun thought about it, the more he felt it was possible. Just as he was thinking about it, two figures walked in from outside. Disciple Li Yun met the leader. The visitors are Li Siyuan, the leader of Kilian cult, and Li Hai, Li Yun's father. No need to be polite, Xiaoun, I just came to see how your cultivation is going. Li Siyuan waved his hand and said with a smile. Thank you to the leader for your concern. The disciples' practice went smoothly today. In addition, Senior Huang's previous on-demand broadcast did not encounter any bottlenecks. Li Yundeo. That's good. You, too, have enough opportunities to get guidance from Senior Huang. Li Siyuan said with a slight smile, by the way, have you had any contact with Senior Huanggu recently? This is what he came here for. He wants to know what is the relationship between Li Yun and Emperor Huanggu. If the other party can be accepted as a disciple by Emperor Huanggu, then their Qi Lian Jiao's status will also rise. The disciple has not had any contact with Senior Huanggu recently. Li Yun shook his head and said. That's it. Li Siyuan was a little disappointed. It seemed unlikely that Li Yun would become the disciple of the ancient emperor. By the way, leader, there was someone who gave something to his disciple just now. This person seemed to be the direct disciple of Senior Huanggu. At this time Li Yun said. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 35. What? A direct disciple of Senior Huanggu. Hearing Li Yun's words, Li Siyuan and Li Hai were both shocked. They had known that Emperor Huanggu had a disciple before, and they had always been curious about who this disciple was, and that he could actually be accepted by Emperor Huanggu as his disciple. Unexpectedly it appears now. Leader, this person should be the disciple of Senior Huanggu. I gave the spiritual method of Sky Sorju to Senior Huanggu before, and now this person has returned this mental method to me. There should be no problem with his identity. Li Yundeo. Since there is no problem with his identity, why would he return this mentality? Is it possible that he wants to break the fate between us and the ancient predecessors? Li Siyuan frowned. The disciple didn't know either, he didn't say anything. Li Yun shook his head, and was also curious about the sudden appearance of Suju. Ever since he knew about the Huanggu Emperor, he had never wanted to become his disciple. Unfortunately, he did not have the courage to ask. Now the Huanggu Emperor's apprentice suddenly appearing, as a genius taught by Qi Lian, he was naturally a little unconvinced. He did not believe that he could not compare with this Suju. I would like to ask more about this matter. If it is what Senior Huanggu wants, then we. Li Siyuan hesitated to speak. If this was really the case, their idea of embracing each other would be completely in vain. Li Yun nodded and sent a message to Suju. The three of them waited quietly for Suju's reply. Xiantian Sect. Sect Master, we are bound to win this thumbs-up ranking. With the price we offer, Netherworld Sect will definitely not be able to surpass us. The Great Elder looked at Gu Kanghai and said, but this time we have almost spent hundreds of years of accumulation. If the reward given by Senior Huanggu cannot make up for it, it will be difficult for the disciples in the sect to practice in the future. In order to compete with the Netherworld Sect, they have raised the price of likes to 20 chi gathering pills for one like. At such a price, even if their Xiantian sect is a top force, they can't afford it. After this incident, go and calculate the cost this time. Although our Xiantian sect has suffered a lot, the Netherworld sect has also suffered a lot, Gu Kanghai said. The Great Elder nodded and was about to leave, but a message sounded in the world. Ding dong, Suju gave you something as a gift, please check it. Gu Kanghai was stunned. Who is this Suju? Why would he give him something for nothing? As soon as his mind moved, a blue ice crystal sword appeared in front of Gu Kanghai. Sect Master, isn't this the 8th grade magic weapon Xianjing sword? There is also the refining mark of our Xiantian sect on it. I remember that I personally selected the sword that day and gave it to Senior Huanggu. How could it appear here? The Great Elder, who had not yet left, asked doubtfully. Looking at the Xianjing sword in his hand, Gu Kanghai narrowed his eyes. Do you still remember why we gave the sword to Senior Huanggu in the first place? Naturally, I remember that Senior Huanggu once said that one of his disciples lacks some basic training resources, so we gave him a lot of training resources, and Xianjing sword was among them. Speaking of this, the Great Elder paused, and a light burst out from his eyes. Could it be that? Gu Kanghai nodded. If my guess is correct, this Suju is probably the disciple of Senior Huanggu. But why did he contact us suddenly? I also returned this Xianjing sword. How do I know? I'd better ask first. Gu Kanghai said, and also sent a message to Suju. Ding dong, Emperor Luying sent a private message, please check it. Ding dong, Li Yun sent a private message, please check it. Ding dong, Gu Kanghai sent a private message, please check it. Hearing the prompt, Suju also opened it to check. The three messages were almost the same. They all asked him if he was the apprentice of the ancient emperor. The master is indeed the ancient emperor, and the things I give you this time have no other meaning. They are just used as tokens to prove your identity, Suju replied. I don't know what's going on, little friend. If you need anything, just say it, and we will definitely not refuse if we can do it. Soon, the three parties Chu Luying were waiting for sent another message with similar meaning. Looking at this message, Suju frowned. It was still a bit troublesome to reply to these three people at the same time. It would be great if we could form a group. Suju murmured, if we can build a group and bring everyone in, it will be easier to discuss any matters. Ding dong, I feel that the host has a need to establish a group, and the system has enabled this function in advance. Should the host spend 100 points to establish a group? System, you really respond to every request. Suju laughed. She didn't expect that there would be a group creation function. Without hesitation, Suju directly spent 100 points to create a group. Ding dong, the host spent 100 points and successfully established the group. Please name the group. Just call it the Like Gang. Suju thought for a while and smiled. It's a bit vulgar, but it's easy to understand. The group was successfully established. Suju also brought Chu Luying and three people into the group. At the same time, he also started to check the people in the group. Some features. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 36. The functions in the group are similar to the WeChat groups used on Earth, but they can accommodate 50,000 people. Some functions require points to activate. Chu Luying and the 3 people who were pulled into the group were all curious and started checking. Like to help? What is this? Chu Luying and the others frowned. They had never seen such a thing before. You 3, you should be able to see me talking, right? Suju sent a message in the group and asked. Can you see it? What is this? Fellow Taoist Suju, can you explain? It's a bit interesting that you can contact so many people at the same time. There was no such function in Wanja before. This time I am even more certain that fellow Taoist Suju is the disciple of Senior Huanggu. The 3 of them also sent messages one after another, and Suju nodded with satisfaction. I call this function group building, which means gathering every individual together. Suju explained casually and continued, I brought everyone into the group today because I have something I want to discuss with you. Chu Luying, fellow Taoist Suju, please tell me if you have anything. Gu Kanghai, that's right, since you are the disciple of Senior Huanggu, if you have any difficulties, we will definitely help if we can. Li Yun, Li Si Yuan, fellow Taoist has spent so much effort, it seems that this matter is not simple. Yes, there is indeed something important to do with the 3 of you this time. My master was born and everyone saw the sensation caused, especially the like function, which can be said to be very popular now, Suju said. Chu Luying and the other 3 nodded. Many people have sacrificed their wealth for this likes ranking list. Gu Kanghai understands this very well. Gu Kanghai, what do fellow Taoists want to say? 3. Master mentioned these 3 to me before. I know that these 3 have been of great help to my cultivation. Suju has always kept this in mind. Sujudeo. These words made Chu Luying and the others feel happy. It seems that the things they gave to Emperor Huang were not in vain. It's just that the other party has a noble status, so they usually ignore them. Chu Luying, fellow Taoist Suju is too polite. It's just a little effort. Senior Huanggu's help to us can't be repaid by this thing. Li Yun, Li Si Yuan, that's right, if it weren't for Senior Huanggu's light and shadow to answer our questions about cultivation, even if we are confused on the road, we will not cultivate so quickly. The 3 of them became polite one after another, while Suju smiled slightly. The emotional card was almost played, and it was time to get down to business. This is why I contacted the 3 of them. After all, in this world, the 3 of them are definitely people that I, Suju, can trust. Suju said, I am looking for 3 people this time, mainly because I accidentally discovered that someone has started to have ambitions for my master's likes ranking list. This likes ranking list is a function specially created by master after seeing everyone's enthusiasm. The purpose is just so that everyone can leave their own thoughts in the comment area after watching the light and shadow. In this way, some Taoist friends with low cultivation level can also use the comment area to improve their strength. Looking at Suju's news, Chu Luying and the others showed surprised expressions. Gu Kanghai, I didn't expect that Senior Huanggu had such deep meaning. If it hadn't been for Suju's Taoist friend to point it out, we wouldn't have understood it yet. Chu Luying Sakura, I didn't expect that Senior Huanggu's mind is so broad, and he actually wants to improve everyone's realm. Before, the juniors were unconventional. Li Yun, Li Si Yuan, the seniors' thoughts are really not something we can understand now. This comment section is indeed contrary to the seniors' ideas. Fellow Daoists, Suju contacted the 3 of us this time, but for this matter? That's right, since there are young people who want to control masters like rankings, although master has not said it explicitly, I, the disciple, will naturally share the worries. Suju said, that's why I contacted 3 people and wanted to organize a like group. The meaning of this group is only one, and that is to like those comments that really leave insights for the sake of cultivation. This can also make people my master is at ease. Seeing this, Chu Luying and the other two nodded secretly. They are worthy of being chosen as disciples by Senior Huangwu, and they actually have such filial piety. Chu Luying, fellow Taoist Suju, although your idea is good, but it is very difficult to implement. Nowadays, likes have a specific price. If we want to organize a large number of people to like, if there is no benefit, I am afraid no one will be willing. I naturally know this, but we can also charge fees for likes, but the likes and comments must satisfy my master. Since this market has been opened, then at least we must control this market and make this market profitable. Be disciplined, Suju said. Chu Luying and the other three were not in a hurry to speak. They did not expect that Suju actually thought this way. The other party's ambition was a bit big. Li Yun, Li Si Yuan, fellow Taoist Suju, what do you want to do? I hope the three of you can play a play with me. Suju wrote down her thoughts as she spoke. The three of them hesitated for a while and then decided to agree. After all, this is the only chance to have a relationship with the ancient emperor. That being the case, let's get started. Suju said and was about to exit the interface, but at this time Gu Kanghai suddenly sent a message. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 37. Fellow Taoist Suju, there is something I feel I need to confess. The price of this thumbs up is actually raised by our Xiantian section. Seeing these words from Gu Kanghai, Suju paused slightly. She didn't expect that the culprit was here. But then Suju curled up the corner of her mouth and decided to scare the other person. Sect leader Gu, I didn't expect you to be the one responsible for this matter. If my master knew about it, you might. Fellow Daoist Suju, please don't tell Senior Huanggu about this matter. Otherwise, if Senior finds out, our Xiantian sect will be doomed. Gu Kanghai felt a little regretful at this time. Why did he say such a thing? Sect leader Gu, don't worry. Even if you didn't say anything about this, I'm afraid my master would have known about it a long time ago. But even so, he tacitly allowed me to come to you. You should understand what this means, Suju said with a smile. Yes, fellow Taoist, don't worry, from now on our Xiantian sect will only follow your lead, and we will never disappoint Senior Huanggu. Suju nodded with satisfaction, explained a few more words, and then exited the interface. At the same time, under the video of the ancient emperor, untitled, there was an additional comment from Chu Luying. There are many divergent paths along the way in cultivation, and you are going against the will of nature. The road ahead may be dark, but if you highlight this darkness, there may be a bright light. Your own will cannot be abolished, and the younger generation can learn from it. As soon as this comment came out, it was quickly deleted, but this was not important. All Suju wanted was this comment. Time passed little by little, and soon the deadline for the likes list came. Ding dong, the likes list is over. Please check the specific list by yourself. As the system sounded, a list also appeared in front of Suju. A daily day in the life of the ancient emperor likes ranking. Lu Fengyuan, 2.85 million likes. Emperor Yehao, 2.45 million likes. Palace Master Luo Qian, 2.37 million likes. The ancient emperor's thoughts on watching the sun like list. Hao Tenglin, 2.86 million likes. Zhang Mingan, 2.72 million likes. Venerable Qinyan, 2.7 million likes. The ancient emperor only helps growth likes ranking. Suju has released a total of 5 short videos, so there are 15 places. Behind each quota, there was a reward button. Suju clicked it directly. Please host choose the rewards Lu Fengyuan will receive, 1 day of practicing in the fire spirit pole, 2 a quarter of an hour of enlightenment, 3 a 30% increase in success rate for the next breakthrough. These rewards are naturally issued by the system. Suju does not need to pay anything. He only needs to choose one of the three rewards. Naturally, this is the first time I will issue a reward to create a certain sensation, so that I can continue to expand my influence. Suju thought, and directly chose the second reward, allowing the other party to enter the state of enlightenment for a quarter of an hour. Even though it was only a quarter of an hour, for a strong person of this level, it would take hundreds of years and thousands of years of cultivation before he could enter a state of enlightenment once, and it will not last long. Now the other party can stably enter the state of enlightenment for a quarter of an hour. If he knew it, he would definitely wake up with a smile. Please host choose the reward that Hao Tenglin will receive: 1 Dragon Essence Blood Pill, 2 10,000 Years Ice Clear Leaf, 3 1 Inferior Earth Dragon Egg. Just choose an Earth Dragon Egg for this guy. If it can be hatched, it will be considered a powerful combatant. If it can't be hatched, then you can't blame me. Suju said with a smile. Please host choose. It took a quarter of an hour for Suju to carefully select rewards for the 15 people. Ding dong, the host has been selected successfully, are you sure? If confirmed, the reward will be issued immediately. Sure. Ding dong, confirmed to be successful, rewards are being distributed, successfully distributed. Listening to the sound of the system, Suju waited quietly with a smile. He was sure that the comment area would be lively again soon. At the same time, in the Holy Dragon sect, Lu Fenyuan, who was observing the light and shadow of the ancient emperor, suddenly heard a voice in his mind. If you rank first in the likes list, I will reward you with a quarter of an hour of enlightenment. Buzz. Lu Fenyuan, who had not yet recovered, his eyes suddenly became dull, and the next second he directly entered the cultivation state, and a special aura appeared on his body. What happened? Why did the sect leader suddenly arouse the will of heaven and earth? Could this be a state of enlightenment? Enlightenment? The opportunity given to the sect leader was too strong. He didn't expect that observing the light and shadow of Senior Huanggu would give him a chance to enter the state of enlightenment. What are you still doing? The sect leader has entered the state of enlightenment. The aura emanating from his body is also of great benefit to us. Let's practice quickly. Discovering Lu Fenjiayuan's strangeness, everyone in the Holy Dragon sect showed expressions of surprise and hurriedly sat down and started practicing. A full quarter of an hour passed, and the special aura on Lu Fenyuan gradually disappeared, and at the same time he slowly opened his eyes. At this moment, all the disciples of the Holy Dragon sect also opened their eyes, looked at Lu Fenyuan, and found that there were many differences in him. Just sitting on the ground, it seems that it has become consistent with the way of heaven and earth. At this moment, the other party is like the way of heaven, and no one dares to go against the will of the other party. Sect Master, are you okay? This was just now. The great elder came to Lu Fenyuan and asked cautiously. Lu Fenyuan glanced at the other party, and then laughed immediately. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that the reward given to me by Senior Huang would be so generous, which directly put me into the state of enlightenment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, Beside Ermaran. Chapter 38. The Reward of the Ancient Senior. Hearing Lu Fenjiayuan's words, the great elder and others were shocked. They had previously thought that their sect leader was extremely talented, and after observing the light and shadow of Senior Huanggu, they suddenly had an epiphany by chance. Unexpectedly, it was Senior Huanggu who took the initiative to give the gift. Sect leaders' rewards. That's right, Senior Huanggu's voice sounded in my mind just now. It must be that the time for the likes ranking list has expired, and I will be rewarded for ranking first. Lu Fenyuan nodded. When he mentioned the 4 words Senior Huanggu, his eyes were full of respect and he did not dare to show any slightness. The reward for this likes list is too generous. It can directly enter the state of enlightenment. This is an opportunity that many people will rarely get in their lifetime of cultivation. Yes, once you enter the state of enlightenment, not only will your own strength be improved, but even the creatures within a radius of 10,000 meters will be affected. The methods of the ancient predecessors are too amazing. This time the sect master has enlightened, although it seems that our realm has not improved on the surface, the path of cultivation will be extremely smooth in the future. The flowers, plants, and trees around our holy dragon sect will also evolve into spirits under the influence of the will of enlightenment. Before, I thought it was not worth it to get a likes list, but now it seems that I am blind. Several elders of the holy dragon sect had surprises in their eyes. Although they had lost a lot of cultivation resources this time, the chance of enlightenment was enough to offset it, and they even made a profit. Senior Huanggu is definitely a powerful Tianzun, and taking action is an opportunity for enlightenment. I don't know what others have gained this time. Lu Fengyuan said and clicked on Wanja. Shenyuan City. If you rank first in the likes list, I will give you an earth dragon egg. Whether it can be hatched depends on your luck. As a voice sounded in Hao Tenglin's mind, before Hao Tenglin could react, a space crack suddenly appeared in front of him. Father, what's going on? Is there an assassin? Hao Fei, who was standing nearby, was shocked when he saw the sudden space crack. He took out his weapon and was about to kill towards the crack. Get out of here. Boom. Ah. Seeing this scene, Hao Tenglin, who had just understood what was going on, was shocked and slapped Hao Fei away with an angry roar. Father, Shut up, this is the reward given to our holy Yuan city by Senior Huanggu. Hao Tenglin said. After hearing this, Hao Fei's face changed, and his heart was filled with fear. Fortunately, he had acted slowly just now. If he had acted faster and directly destroyed the reward given by Senior Huanggu, his father would probably be furious. Slap yourself to death. Roar. At this time, a dragon roar sounded in the space crack. Its sound shocked the world, and the powerful pressure also swept across the entire Shenyuan city. What's going on? The sound seemed to be that of a dragon roaring, and the sound came from the main hall. Is there still a divine dragon in our Saint Yuan city? Why have you never heard of it before? Go and have a look, I've never seen a dragon before. In the main hall, Hao Fei was so oppressed by this pressure that he could not even lift his head. Even Hao Tenglin was trembling, but his eyes were full of excitement. Father, what is this? Hao Fei asked, holding back the pressure. Dragon egg, Senior Huanggu directly rewarded us with a dragon egg. Hao Tenglin swallowed his saliva. The dragon clan is a dominant presence everywhere. Wanting to get the opponent's dragon egg is simply wishful thinking. Unexpectedly, Senior Huanggu actually directly rewarded them with a dragon egg. He was so generous that in the world rare. Buzz. The next second, the terrifying pressure gradually disappeared, and a cocky giant egg with a height of 2 meters slowly flew out. It is really a dragon egg. Although it is only an earth dragon egg, if it is cultivated properly, it can at least reach the level of a great master. Looking at the dragon egg wrapped with dragon patterns, Hao Tenglin was indescribably surprised. He thought that the reward given by the ancient emperor would be very generous, but he did not expect it to be so rich. Compared with this dragon egg, he wanted to get some points. The price Zan number 1 paid is nothing. If he had known it was such a reward, he might have been more ruthless and received a few more rewards. My father turned out to be really a dragon egg. Senior Huanggu's methods were so powerful that even the dragons were not afraid of him, Hao Fei said. Dragon clan? Would a heavenly lord who could instantly kill a 9-tailed blood fox be afraid of dragons? Hao Tenglin's eyes showed disdain. How could they imagine such a strong man? Father, the reward we received is the dragon egg, so what will be the reward for others? It shouldn't be worse than ours, right? Hao Fei asked. These words brought Hao Tenglin back to reality. Yes, he is not the only one to win this time. If he takes first place, he will get the dragon egg. There are 4 other first places, even if they are not dragon eggs. But the value is definitely not lower than that of dragon eggs. Let's look at what these guys got first. Thinking about it, how Tenglin also opened up the world. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 39. In addition to Hao Tenglin and Lu Fengyuan, the other 13 people also received rewards. They were also excited about the rewards they received. They all felt that the training resources spent on the likes ranking list were worth it. Since they had received the reward, some of the 15 people naturally wanted to show off and started leaving messages in the comment area. Venerable Kinyan, I would like to thank you, Senior Huangwu. The earth fire rewarded by Senior is extremely important to me. If Senior has anything to do in the future, I will do my best. Soon there was the first person to show off, and the comment section was also blown up. What? Venerable Qianyan actually got a piece of earth fire? It is said that this earth fire not only has powerful power, but also has extremely strong spirituality. It is not easy to find at all. I heard that Venerable Qianyan has been searching for tens of thousands of years, but he only found an earth fire. Unexpectedly, this time he ranked among the top 3 in the likes list. Senior Huanggu directly rewarded him with an earth fire. With this earth fire, Venerable Qianyan will only be able to improve his cultivation in the future. I am envious of him. Seeing a burst of envy towards him in the comment section, Venerable Kinyan also showed a smile. It felt good to be worshipped by everyone. Palace Master Luo Qian, I would like to thank my senior for the 1000-year-old Chalcedony marrow. This thing will play an important role for this junior. In the future, the Rakshasa Palace of the junior will follow the lead of my senior. But before Lord Kinyan could be happy for a while, a new comment suddenly appeared. Especially when he saw the reward Princess Rosie received, he couldn't help but frown, because this reward was better than his. 10,000 years of Chalcedony? Oh my god, I didn't expect Senior Huanggu to have such a treasure. If the 10,000 years Jade Heart Marrow is taken alone, it can only help with cultivation. Its value is indeed not as good as earth fire, but this thing is a heavenly material and earthly treasure for refining the spiritual life pill. Lingshenden? Could it be that spiritual life pill that can make the dead alive, with flesh and bones? Isn't this elixir just a legend? Is it true? This elixir does exist, and in the entire Dingtian world, only Rakshasa Palace has its recipe. It is said that Rakshasa Palace has other materials, but it lacks the 10,000 years Jade Heart essence. If this elixir is refined, the threshold of Rakshasa Palace may be about to be trampled. Lord Kinyan frowned. Palace Master Luo Qian ranked 2nd in the likes list. I didn't expect the reward to be so much better than his. There is such a reward for 2nd place, so what reward can you get for 1st place? Venerable Qianyan did not wait any longer, because in the next second, Lu Fengyuan's comments appeared. Lu Fengyuan, the junior Saint Dragon sect Lu Fengyuan knelt down to thank the senior for his gift. After the junior entered the state of enlightenment, his state of mind changed, and he became more confident about the future path of cultivation. However, all my disciples of the Holy Dragon sect have been infected by enlightenment and have improved. The entire Holy Dragon sect is grateful to their seniors. Looking at Lu Fengyuan's comments, Venerable Kinyan suddenly felt a buzzing in his head. What? Opportunity to realize enlightenment? This Lu Fengyuan is the number 1 in the rankings of Another Light and Shadow, and he actually got the opportunity to realize enlightenment. Thinking of this, Venerable Kinyan looked at the earth fire he had just refined in his body, and suddenly felt unsatisfactory. This reward for being number 1 too rich. He is sect leader Lu of the Holy Dragon section. He didn't expect that the number one person in the ranking would get the chance to realize the Tao. Who is this ancient senior? He can actually make people enter the state of enlightenment. The Heavenly Lord can make people enter the state of enlightenment. Senior Huanggu is definitely the Heavenly Lord. I didn't expect that these seniors would be willing to release light and shadow to help us practice. From now on, the lectures within the sect will be ignored. It is enough to look at the light and shadow of the ancient seniors every day. For such a strong man, just one light and shadow is enough for us to comprehend for a year and a half. The melon-eating crowd was shocked and envious that Lu Fengyuan had the opportunity to gain enlightenment. Even Hao Tenglin from St. Yuan City was the same. I didn't expect this old guy to be so lucky, so Senior Huanggu directly rewarded him with a chance to enlightenment. Hao Tenglin said with some jealousy. Although dragon eggs are precious, they are foreign objects after all. A chance of enlightenment can strengthen oneself, so it is still incomparable. Father, although the opportunity for enlightenment is precious, it is of little use if the time is extremely short, Hao Fei said with a smile. What's the meaning? The boy felt that Senior Huanggu should have distributed rewards to the 15 people on the ranking list at the same time. At this time, only about one stick of incense had passed since the rewards were distributed, which meant that the time it took for the Holy Dragon sect to reach enlightenment was less than one stick of incense, Hao Fei said. As soon as these words came out, Hao Tenglin's eyes lit up. Yes, if 1 or 2 hours of enlightenment would indeed have a huge impact on future cultivation, it could even transcend the heavens. But it would not even take half an hour to achieve enlightenment. Although it is also useful for cultivation, but the effect is not that obvious. You kid is finally smart for once. Hao Tenglin smiled. In this way, the other party's enlightenment reward should be similar to their dragon eggs. If the other party has not realized anything, it will not even be as good as their dragon eggs. It's our turn next. How? Tenglin said and left a comment in the comment area. Fantasy, I rely on my mobile phone to pretend to be the emperor. Author, beside Ermaran. Chapter 40. The junior St. Yuan City Lord Hao Tenglin came here to express his gratitude to Senior Huanggu. The junior was lucky enough to get the first place in the likes list. The senior gave the junior an earth dragon egg. Such a generous reward made the junior feel flattered. Tens of thousands of disciples in Shenyuan City were willing to listen to the senior. Dispatch. As this comment was posted, Hao Tenglin smiled slightly. He was sure that the reward he received would soon cause shock. Indeed, just as Hao Tenglin thought, as soon as the comment was posted, there were a large number of replies below it. No way. Shenyuan City actually got a dragon egg, and Senior Huanggu was too generous. Although the earth dragon egg is not as good as a real dragon, if it can be cultivated properly, it is hoped that it can become a great master in the future. Dragon egg, if our sect can have a dragon egg, we will definitely have a place in the Dingtian world within 100 years. Looking at the replies below his comment, Hao Tenlin burst into laughter. This feeling is so refreshing. Unexpectedly, Hao Tenglin, an old man, got a dragon egg. He was so lucky. Sacred Dragon Sect, the great elder looked at Lu Fengyuan and said. Lu Fengyuan squinted his eyes. He thought his reward was the best, but he didn't expect that other people's rewards were comparable to him. Especially Hao Tenglin, who actually got if a dragon egg is really cultivated by the other party, their holy dragon sect will be in danger in the future. There was no need to worry, what he had in his hand was just an earth dragon egg. Dragon eggs were not easy to hatch, and even if they were hatched, cultivating them would require a lot of resources and time. Lu Fengyuan said. Sect Master, if you say that, you have to be careful. I know this, go and inform the people arranged in Shenyuan City. If you have a chance, get the dragon egg over to me, even if you can't get it, you will destroy it for me. Lu Fengyuan said. Don't worry, Sect Master, I'll do it right away. After the great elder left, a cold light flashed in Lu Fengyuan's eyes. Dragon egg. I'm going to turn you into a dead egg. After Hao Tenglin's reward was announced, it naturally caused an uproar. Immediately afterwards, other people began to show off their treasures, all of similar value, which aroused the envy of those forces who had not received the reward. Some sects are even beginning to prepare for the next ranking list. As long as they can enter the top 3, they will receive generous rewards from the ancient emperor. On this day, the name of the ancient emperor became even louder. Everyone knew that there was a heavenly lord in the Dingtian world, and his actions were dragon eggs and opportunities for enlightenment. This also made Suju grow a lot on this day. Few fans. The number of fans has reached 35 million, and the points are over 3,000. Everything is on track. Suju sat in front of the Taoist temple with a smile on his face. If these guys knew that the ancient emperor whom they worshipped so much was just a chi refiner who had just broken through to the golden elixir stage, they would probably cry to death. Now that the issue with the large size has been resolved for the time being, it's time to resolve the issue with the small size. Suju curled up her lips, and then clicked on the video The Ancient Emperor, untitled. At the same time, she found Chu Luying's comment that she had marked earlier, and set it to the top. Then, Suju directly posted the early comment just saved short video. Ding dong, please host name the short video. Let's call it The Ancient Emperor, Chu Luying. Naming successful, uploading, upload successful. Listening to the prompt, Suju nodded with satisfaction. Next, he just had to wait. Look, Senior Huanggu just released another Light and Shadow, and the name is actually Chu Luying of Huanggu Emperor. Why does this Chu Luying sound familiar? Chu Luying? Isn't this Emperor Luying of Luying Mountain? What's going on? She's just a great emperor. Why can she be treated alone by Senior Huanggu? Could it be that Chu Luying has some kind of private relationship with Senior Huanggu? I heard that Emperor Luying is quite beautiful. Stop thinking blindly, let's first take a look at what exactly this Light and Shadow of Senior Huanggu is. After this Light and Shadow was released, it was quickly discovered. High-level disciples from various forces showed surprised expressions and clicked on the Light and Shadow to check it out. After the video was opened, there was only darkness, but not long after, a large number of stars appeared. Just when everyone was wondering what the ancient emperor meant, the stars began to change rapidly. In just a few seconds, several large characters composed of thousands of stars appeared. The one who wins my heart is Luo Ying. Boom. As soon as these words came out, the tens of millions of people who were watching this Light and Shadow were shocked. What do these words mean? Did Senior Huanggu make it official? This Chu Luying is Senior Huanggu's Taoist companion? This moment made many women watching the Light and Shadow feel sad. They didn't expect that the ancient emperor already had a Taoist companion, so wouldn't they have no chance? Buzz. But at this moment, the stars in the sky began to change again. Under everyone's gaze, next, a few more words appeared.